Hey, welcome back guys, and today we're talking about the mirror principle and how the world is a mirror. So what the world is, it's a mirror to what it is that you're thinking and feeling. Your thoughts and feelings have been reflected back to you through the world. So for example, if we took a normal mirror and you looked at a normal mirror, and you frowned at that mirror naturally would frown back at you. It's only showing you what you're showing it. If you smile at the mirror smiles back at you. Now think about that concept when you go into the world. If you go into the world and you smile at people and you come with an attitude of being happy, vibrant and that type of thing, that's what you're going to get back. If you go out there with an attitude of animosity and tension and confrontation, that's what you're going to get back. So what it simply does is reflecting back to you. Now you would never look at the mirror and frown at the mirror and expect the mirror to smile you first of all. You would never say, I'm not going to smile at that mirror until that mirror smiles at me. I want to see that mirror smiling first of all, because you'd understand quite naturally, you have to first smile at the mirror then smiles back at you. But many times in life, we don't have that concept of thinking. Many times in life, what we do, we look at life as life's got to do something for us first of all before we give back. So in other words, I won't smile at the world until the world is nicer to me. When the world's nice to me, I'll smile at the world. When the world is smiling at me, I'll smile at the world. But while the world is such a harsh place to be in, and while it's so confrontational and aggressive and mean towards me, I'm going to be mean back to it until it does something different. But it doesn't work that way. If you want the world to smile at you, you have to be the first one to smile. You have to smile at the world, right? Because it's just a mirror reflecting back to you whatever it is that you're giving it. So now think about it. When you're going through life and you're anything, whatever it is that you're experiencing, if you're experiencing confrontation, animosity, things that you don't like, don't look out there and expect those people that's giving you what it is that you don't like to change. You can't force them to change, and you shouldn't force them to change. You're not supposed to. What you want to do is look at yourself internally, look at it, look at what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's going on here? And the way thoughts and feelings work are that thoughts generate feelings. So you think about something a specific way, it makes you feel a certain way about something. But also sometimes you can have a feeling in your body. Sometimes you might not be thinking much, but you feel, all of a sudden you feel a certain amount of nervousness, anxiety, whatever it is, that can then make you think a certain way. Because what we do as human beings is if we feel a certain way about something, we try to then, using our thinking, our intellect, our logic, we try to look at what is it that's causing that. It must be this, it must be that, that's bothering me. If I sorted that out, this wouldn't bother me, and so forth. That's how we typically think, most of us. So if you're not seeing and receiving what you want in the world, look at your own self, look internally. So here's a tip for you. What you want to look at is look at your internal conversations, right? Because many times people are walking around these internal conversations in their head that it's not empowering them, it's hindering them and bringing them down. I'll give you an example, right? So a really basic example is someone that works in a job with a boss they don't get on with, they don't like for whatever reason, right? Now they might say that boss is a dictator, unfair, that boss is a bully and so forth, right? And that may be true, right? But for it to be an absolute truth, it means that that boss must be like that to every single person, right? Now, here's the deal. If they're not like that to every single person, and they're like that to just you or just you and some other people, then you've really got to look at what is it inside of you that's creating that situation on the outside, and what can I do to adjust that? What can I do to adjust the way that I think about the situation? What's my perspective about it? Because what happens is this, a lot of times you could be having a conversation, internal conversation. For many of us, the internal conversation that's confrontational is a really enjoyable conversation, right? I don't know if you've heard the saying before. Do you want to be right or do you want to be profitable? So for example, in financial markets, we say, do you want to be right or do you want to be profitable? And they're not the same thing, right? And it's the same thing in life, right? So you've got to ask yourself, what is it that you want to have, receive, or create within the world that you're living in, right? And you do that by looking at what you're giving out. What you're giving out is what you're receiving. So how are you thinking about this boss? In your mental conversations that you have with yourself, how are you conversating with this boss? Are you revisiting old ground where they did or said something that you didn't think was fair, and you're arguing the point with them to try and prove yourself to be right in the situation? Remember, your boss can't hear that. But what you're doing is, remember the garden of your mind, you're planting these seeds. You're planting these seeds for your thoughts and feelings. And thoughts and feelings lead to words and actions, and the words and actions then lead to results, right? It's like a cycle that goes on. Once you get the result, it comes back and reinforces the initial thoughts and feelings. And then you say, I knew it, I told you, I knew I was right about X, Y, Z, or whatever it is. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like a circle going round and round and round. It never ends almost. You've got to break that cycle. The way to break it is not to try and change what's being reflected back. change the image that's being presented, i.e. yourself. Make sense? So if you've got any questions, hit me down below about these questions. And do this as you go through day-to-day life. Start looking at it in the conversations that you have and where they serve you and where they don't serve you. Because if they don't serve you, you want to stop them really quickly, because all you're doing is simply watering the seeds of the situations that you don't want to experience. Make sense? Cool. So questions down below. Look, if the video is useful, be sure to give me a thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm, and any comments as well. And if there's anything you want me to touch on, also put that down, and I'll be revisiting these same concepts, Garden of Your Mind, all these other concepts, and there'll be many more I'll be revisiting. So I'll put them out there and revisit them for you in order to reinforce the learning. So I'll be coming at the same concepts from different angles. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you get the notification when new videos are coming out. All right, guys, and I'll catch you next one. Bye for now.